Have you ever wondered why cannabis barely affects some people while others feel its effects almost immediately? You've probably heard someone describe a cannabis experience that sounded almost unbelievable. Colors seemed brighter, music felt different, time slowed down. Then you tried cannabis yourself. Maybe you noticed very little, maybe just a mild sensation, or maybe almost nothing at all. So you started asking yourself, am I doing something wrong? But what if the answer isn't how you used cannabis? What if it's how your body is built? I'm Dr. Sambo, a consultant psychiatrist. On this channel, I explain the neuroscience behind addiction, mental health, and how substances affect the brain. If cannabis has never affected you the way it affects other people, you're probably not imagining it, and you're certainly not broken. Your body may simply process THC differently. Research suggests there are several biological reasons why some people experience much weaker effects than others. Today, we're going to explore 6 of them. Let's begin. The first possibility is that your body isn't absorbing enough THC. This sounds simple, but it's surprisingly common. When cannabis is smoked, the THC has to reach the tiny air sacs deep inside the lungs. That's where it enters the bloodstream. If that process isn't very efficient, less THC reaches the brain. Edibles work differently. Instead of the lungs, they travel through the digestive system before reaching the liver. That process can take anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours, so some people think nothing is happening when they simply haven't waited long enough. But here's the interesting part. If you've tried different methods on different occasions and still notice very little effect, the explanation may go much deeper. The second explanation is hidden inside your liver. After an edible is absorbed, THC travels to the liver. There, an enzyme called CYP2C9 changes it into another compound called 11-hydroxy-THC. This compound reaches the brain very efficiently, but not everyone's enzyme works the same way. Some people inherit genetic differences that make this enzyme much less active. As a result, their bodies produce much less 11-hydroxy-THC. Researchers sometimes call this phenomenon edda-blocked. Interestingly, the opposite can also happen. Some people experience much stronger effects from exactly the same amount. That's why 2 people can have completely different experiences, even when everything else appears identical. This isn't just tolerance, it's biology. Now let's move to the brain. Even if your liver processes THC perfectly, your brain still needs somewhere for it to attach. THC works by binding to CB1 receptors. Think of THC as a key, and these receptors as locks. Some people naturally have fewer of these locks. Others inherit receptors that respond differently. These differences are influenced by the CNR1 gene. Fewer receptors mean fewer opportunities for THC to produce noticeable effects. There's another possibility: repeated cannabis use. Over time, the brain protects itself. It reduces the number of available CB1 receptors. Scientists call this downregulation. The encouraging news is that these receptors can recover. Research suggests many begin returning after several weeks without cannabis. Your brain is far more adaptable than many people realize. Here's something researchers have noticed for years. Some people don't feel much the first time they use cannabis. Then, on another occasion, they suddenly notice clear effects. Scientists are still studying why. One possibility is that the brain needs an initial exposure before becoming fully responsive. Another idea is that the brain simply hasn't learned to recognize this new state yet. Now, let's look at your brain's own chemistry. Your body naturally produces its own cannabinoid-like chemicals. These help regulate mood, sleep, appetite, pain, and stress. Everyone has a different starting point. Scientists sometimes call this endocannabinoid tone. Genetics, exercise, stress, and life experiences may all influence it, and that could help explain why people respond so differently to the same substance. So, what does all this mean? If cannabis has consistently affected you very differently from other people, There may be more than one explanation. Your response isn't determined by willpower. It isn't a personal failure, and it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Human biology varies far more than most people realize. One thing research continues to show is that no single recommendation fits everyone. Two people using the same amount can have completely different experiences. Understanding your own biology helps you make better informed decisions about your health, and that's knowledge worth having. If you enjoy evidence-based videos about addiction, mental health, and the brain, consider subscribing. Every week, I break down complex neuroscience into practical information you can actually use. Now, I'd like to hear from you. Which of these 6 biological explanations surprised you the most? Leave your answer in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, share it with someone who has ever wondered why cannabis seems to affect everyone differently. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.